From Studio 87 in Houston, Texas, it's time once again for the STL Ocarina Podcast. And now, here's your host of the STL Ocarina Podcast, Charles Berman. Hello and welcome once again to another exciting edition of the STL Ocarina Podcast, here at a remote location. Sadly, Studio 87 is currently under renovation right now. So we will be going live and recording at various locations until further notice. Anyway, I'm Charles Berman, product tester for STL Ocarina, and in this week's podcast we talk about the upcoming events with the brand. We got a fun fact, you joke du jour, a lot of fun stuff. And to kick this week's podcast off, we got an exciting segment of Did You Know That? In 1964, John Taylor, an English mathematician, developed a fingering system that allowed an ocarina to play a full chromatic octave using only 4 holes. Now you know. Now it's time for your joke du jour. Which musical note sounds like a heads up? C sharp. Get it? C sharp. Oh, come on. With that note, we'll be back with more of the STL Ocarina Podcast. With your Experts Corner with your helpful hand of the week. Don't go away because coming up after this commercial break, we'll be back with more of the STL Ocarina Podcast right after this timeout.
This is the world's largest ocarina. This massive piece is 38 inches long and weighs 28 pounds. The inside is completely hollow. I wonder how many gallons of water it can hold. Take a guess in the comments. This ocarina is made of ceramic and is one of only 2 models in existence. It has 9 tone holes, which are so large that you have to press down on these keys in order to change the pitch. Check that out. To play a note as low as C3, the chamber of the ocarina has to be this large. Pretty cool, huh? Like and follow for all things ocarina.
Welcome back to the STL Ocarina Podcast. And now it's time once again for your Experts Corner for your helpful hand of the week. Crawl first, walk next, then run. Even though you progress much more quickly on the ocarina than many other instruments, remember that you must crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. As to other investments, music provides the greatest returns over the long haul, and almost anyone who sticks with it long enough can become an accomplished musician. That was your STL. That was your STL Ocarina Podcast, Experts Corner for your helpful hand of the week. Don't go away because coming up after this commercial break, we'll be back with more of the STL Ocarina Podcast with your STL Ocarina News. Don't go away, we'll be back with more of the STL Ocarina Podcast right after this timeout.
You should learn how to play a musical instrument. Here at STL Ocarina, we believe that music is for anywhere, anytime, and anyone. These are 5 reasons why you should pick up an instrument today. First of all, listening to music, or better yet, playing music, can stimulate your brain and increase its capacity for memory. On top of that, reading sheet music can increase your hand-eye coordination. I mean, think about it. You have to read these little notes on a page, and then your brain converts that information into specific motor patterns, rhythm patterns, sometimes incorporating breathing techniques, all while you're listening to what you're playing to make sure it sounds good. And all of these things have to work in tandem. Playing an instrument can really boost your reading and comprehension skills, especially when you expose yourself to increasingly more difficult pieces of music. And as you learn more difficult pieces of music, you might find that learning an instrument is pretty difficult, but that's okay. That's what makes it a great tool for learning self-discipline. It really takes a lot of discipline to go over the hardest parts again and again to get them just right. And last, and most important to me, and probably a lot of us, is that the more proficient you get with an instrument, the more you can play it the way you want to play it and what you want to play. And that leads to making it a great tool for self-expression. And when the self is expressed, stress levels go down. Who wouldn't love that? So that's why.
Welcome back to the STL Ocarina Podcast, and now it's time once again for your STL Ocarina News. This week in your STL Ocarina News, we have a brand new music video dropping on our YouTube channel and all of our major social media pages with our very own Elisa Milano. Did you know that we have a newsletter? Here's how to subscribe to the STL Ocarina newsletter. And here's a quick demonstration video on how to subscribe to the STL Ocarina newsletter. If you visit the website www.stlocarina.com, you'll scroll all the way down until you see newsletter. Just type in your name and your email address and hit the old submit button to subscribe to the STL Ocarina newsletter. Subscribing to the STL Ocarina newsletter is so easy, even link good. We have a special coupon code for our viewers here. If you use the coupon code at checkout, Charles, you'll receive a whopping 20% off on all products. Visit our website, www.stlocarina.com. That's the coupon code at checkout, Charles, you'll receive a whopping 20% off on all products. Visit our website at www.stlocarina.com today. That was your STL Ocarina News. Coming up next, we got your Hot 8 Bestsellers of the Week. Don't go away, we'll be back with more of the STL Ocarina Podcast right after this time out.
Top 5 songs from Ocarina of Time, according to ChatGPT.
Welcome back to the STL Ocarina Podcast. And now it's time once again for your Hot 8 Bestsellers of the Week. Number 8 this week goes to our Hot 8 Bestsellers of the Week. Dropping 2 spots down, it is the Dungeons & Dragons, The Rogue, Ocarina of Subtle Songs in C major tenor. Seize the enigma of music with the Dungeons & Dragons, The Rogue, Ocarina of Subtle Songs in C major tenor. Number 7 this week. One of the best-selling ocarinas of 2024. The 12-hole wooden tenor ocarina de la Mer. The Ocean's Whisper, 12-hole wooden tenor ocarina de la Mer. Number 6 this week goes to moving up 2 spots is the 12-hole tenor ocarina of the Dragon. Descend from the night sky with the 12-hole tenor ocarina of the Dragon. Number 5 this week goes to it is the 12-hole Classic Zelda tenor ocarina C major with Legend of Zelda Songbook. Perfect for the young Zelda fan. And that was the first half of your Hot 8 Bestsellers of the Week. Don't go away, because coming up after this last commercial break, we'll be back with more of the STL Ocarina Podcast with the conclusion of your Hot 8 Bestsellers of the Week. Stay tuned, we'll be back with more of the STL Ocarina Podcast right after this time out.
Top 5 songs from Majora's Mask, according to ChatGPT.
Welcome back to the STL Ocarina Podcast. And now it's time for the conclusion of your Hot 8 Bestsellers of the Week. Number 4 this week goes to Stay hydrated with the 12th hole, the Element Ocarina, Water in C major tenor. Number 3 this week on our Hot 8 Bestsellers Countdown. Rise from the Ashes with the 12th hole, tenor ocarina, The Phoenix. Number 2 this week on our Hot 8 Bestsellers Countdown. One of the best-selling ocarinas of 2023. The 12th hole, Zelda, Breath of the Wilderness, the Ocarina of Your Dreams, the 12th hole, Zelda, Wooden Tenor Ocarina. And finally, number 1 once again this week. Number 1 this week goes to For the true Zelda fans, this is the 12th hole, tenor ocarina with Legend of Zelda Songbook. And that was your Hot 8 Bestsellers of the Week. But before we go, we have some words of wisdom for you. It's the imperfections that makes something beautiful, and that what makes it difficult. Different. It's the imperfections that makes something beautiful, and that's what makes it different and unique from everyone else. Words to live by right there, both as a musician and in life. Oh, and looks like we're all out of time. Thank you so much for watching. If you like what you saw, please check out our website at www.stlocarina.com. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all of our major social media pages. Join us next week for more late-breaking news, upcoming events, and much more, right here on the STL Ocarina Podcast. This is Charles Berman, product tester for STL Ocarina, saying so long from the STL Ocarina Podcast. Keep practicing. We'll see you next week. Take care, everyone. For more information about our products, visit our website at www.stlocarina.com.